I just swing day, call this number back. Got $25 for this walk around sit down chair.
Been around the block. Been around the block.
Hello, kind and gentle people. Welcome to Been Around the Block, episode 22. I am Brooks Southard. We have with us Chris Ross and Bradley, Nemo, dun dun dun, Sparks. And then we have Brian Cranford joining us tonight for episode 22. How's everybody doing tonight?
Pretty good.
Blessed?
I'm doing well.
Very good. So we did do a little bit better about getting on time tonight. We're doing the best we can. Technology is great. I think we're getting it figured out. But as I said, the goal is here coming up. We'll be back in person live for all our local interviews coming up. So, but anyways, without any further ado, Brian, thank you for joining us, man. You doing all right this evening?
Absolutely. How are y'all doing?
I'm doing good, man. Doing really good.
I appreciate y'all for having me.
Hello, Courtney Nicole.
Oh, we got comments already. Damn.
It's because of you, bro. You're so popular.
Yeah, how come you're not wearing the suit, bro? I'm just wondering. It was brought up on the page. I mean, you look big, sexy in it. I don't know why you should have just done it, man.
I thought about it. My wife told me I should probably not.
Okay, all right.
Brian,
well,
how much time you got sober?
2.5 years.
Nice.
Hell yeah,
Nice.
that's what's up. So I'm sure you're probably. I don't know if you watched any of our episodes before, but we're gonna kind of just depending on how much you want to talk about and all that. Whether you go into your story, if we're just gonna have an open conversation, completely up to you, man. So
I'll talk about anything y'all want me to.
all right, we'll get into it. Tell us a little bit like what it was like. You know, what got you changed, where you are now. Let's start with the beginning.
I had a pretty normal childhood. I was mom and dad were both addicts and alcoholics. Dad more so than mom. Mom stopped when she got pregnant with me, and I'm pretty much left everything alone since then. I had a pretty good stepdad. He also relapsed around the 11 years clean. When he relapsed, he fell and hurt his back and got back into the pills and the booze real hard. And my mom's both grandparents on my dad's side were in recovery up until the point that they passed away. And when my grandma passed away, like I was 12 or 13, that's kind of when I started dabbling in things and started smoking and drinking and doing all that good stuff. And that progressed to pills and cocaine and methamphetamine. And in 2004, I went to prison for the first time, got out, was only in like 8 months, got out 4 months later, went right back, and was gone for almost 8 years. And right before I went the second time, I found methamphetamine, and I fell in love. It was the thing I wanted in life, and I never wanted to stop. And I did that until I just got sober. And it took everything that I ever had. It took my happiness, freedom, my family. I put my mother and my grandparents through hell. In 2018, when I got out for the third time, I got sentenced to a year at a treatment center in Tulsa and went through and completed it. Spent 13 and a half months there because I got in trouble. So about 90 days into it, I got in a fight and almost kicked out. But they were nice enough to let me stay if I agreed to restart the program. And I did that. And around that time is when everything changed. I started developing a relationship with God. And my whole story kind of revolves, or my recovery kind of revolves around a relationship with God. You know what I mean? If it wasn't for that, it would I wouldn't be today. I would still be out there doing the same things that I do.
Hey, Brian, I don't want to interrupt you, but I do want our listeners to get the fullest experience. Is there any way that you could take that Bluetooth out? Because it's just now. Just turn it off.
Is that
and see
better?
it. I think that is better. Or is it? Did you turn it off? Oh, damn. Never mind. Put it back in. You good? Put it. Go ahead.
Can't hear him.
Yeah, he's got himself muted.
Oh.
No.
It does take a minute to learn this.
You should be able to go into your settings, Brian, and just turn the Bluetooth off. And just use it from your computer.
Oh, can he hear us though? Okay.
I guess put it back in, man. We're just gonna roll with it. That's all we can do.
Sounds good. What's up, Ken?
Can't hear you.
How about now?
Yep.
Yep, there it goes. All right, cool.
All right. So, you know, that treatment center was where I found a relationship with God, or at least I started to see where He worked in my life. And you know, I made it through that program. I met my wife while living in a sober living house, and decided that relationship was more important than my recovery. And I kind of checked out there, and I everything into that relationship, and it wasn't shortly after that, right around my 2-year mark, that I relapsed. And you know, then from that was in 2019, and from 2019 to 2022, it was just hit and miss. You know, I could stay sober, or at least on a California plan for a week or a month or 2 months, 6 months, and then I would check back out and do what I wanted to do. And you know, we've got a friend that tells us our stories are pretty much garden variety alcoholic stories. But there is one part of my story, that the garden variety story, that, you know, to me, it was my major spiritual experience. My wife had kicked me out because I'd been up for a while and was acting stupid, and had been in a trap house, and got to the point where I was going nuts sitting in that house, and I took off on a walk, and somehow I wound up at my grandparents' house, and was there a couple days, and then everything ran out, and I was to the point I didn't want to live anymore. I couldn't keep going, and I didn't want to keep going, and I attempted suicide real quick 3 times in about a 20-minute window, and the first 2 times failed, and the third time I was able to get that extension cord and tie it around my neck and lose consciousness, and I thought I had succeeded. And woke up, and something had untied that extension cord. It was laying on the ground in the closet with me, and I started crying. I mean, I didn't know what to do. I couldn't end it. It didn't work. I couldn't keep going, and I didn't know what to do. So I just prayed, and I got an immediate answer, and that was to reach out to somebody in some kind of 12-step program and get life on track. So that's what I did. I reached out to a friend, and she got in contact with another friend who asked me if I could keep myself alive for 4 days. And I told him, yeah, I thought I could do that. So I did that. I stayed up for 4 days, and I didn't quit smoking weed at that time. You know, that's what I did. I contacted my wife, and I told her, I said, look, I don't know where we're at or how you feel about the situation, but this is what I'm going to go do for me. If you want to try this again after we do this, cool. If not, it is what it is, but I've got to go save my life. And she let me come back almost immediately, and I sat at the house for a few days and waited on him. And he came and picked me up in the middle of that storm that we had in February and took me up to the city. And they let me stay in that sober living house for, I want to say a week and a half before my bed was available at the treatment center. I went to that treatment center, and I was a sponge. I soaked up. I questioned questions about everything, and I soaked up everything that they told me, and any suggestion that anybody gave me, I took and I followed. And that's the same thing I've done since I came home. That I did the things that they suggest you do once you leave treatment, and have continued to do them up until this point. I got home, and life wasn't grand, but it was okay. And there was a solution to get through everyday life. And I might not always liked it, but I stuck with it, and I continue to stick with it every day. I am blessed job where I get to work in recovery with Chris, and it gives me a purpose that I think I've always lacked in my life. You know what I mean? I did go through a rough spot at about a year. When the night I picked up my year chip, I was suicidal, and I didn't know what to do. And I can remember laying in that bed where I got that after I celebrated, and I was thinking that if this is what this is, I don't want it, and I'm done. And I prayed to God to not let me wake up. And I heard a booming voice that told me to do more. It was just too simple. Just do more. And so I did. I dove into it. I started working with people. I started trying to be of service, and that's when the opportunity for the job came up, and I went and I put in an application, and I got denied. And that now that I look back on it, I can see God's hand in everything. I can see the purpose of why He did what He did, because it wasn't shortly after I got denied that job that I got a promotion to general company. And I think it's like another 3 or 4 days after that tornado came through Shawnee and destroyed our house. And I was given a job where I was making a lot more money, and dealing with my grandparents, and we stayed there for about 6 months. And it wasn't the ideal circumstance. Me and my wife and my kid and my dogs living in the house with my grandparents was not ideal, but we made it through it. And the day before our new house got delivered, I got fired. And so I spent 6 months sitting out here unemployed, and scared to death at first, because a person like me has to stay busy. They have to have something to do. They have to never sit still too long, or I start getting antsy. And through that, I found out that God had brought me to a point where I could just, and I was able to sit out here for 6 months. Not saying it was perfect or my attitude was perfect the entire time, but able to make it through it without falling off. And this period of sobriety, I've made it through more things than I'd ever made it through in my life. I was a hair trigger. Anything could trigger me to go back out to using and drinking, and life's not like that today. So I think I sat around here months without a job and putting in application after application after application, and never even got a call back from anybody. And I've never had a problem finding a job in my life. Since I was a kid, I could always find one. And I just sat here one day, and it was a Friday afternoon. I was laying in bed, just kind of depressed that I couldn't find a job, and I thought, man, let me give them a call again. And I called, talked to them, and went in and did an interview and got hired spot. And the lesson I learned in that is God's going to show me what I need and need to be. It just may not be the exact right timing. He knew I was going to lose that house. He knew that there were some things that I needed to get in order, and He gave me means to get them in order, and then put me where He wanted me to be. And I try to differentiate my recovery from work. Some days it's hard. Some days it's easy. Some days I want to scream, but if I keep in that conscious contact with God, then everything seems to work itself out. I can't be too much happier with the way life is today. Life is way better than it used to be. Sleeping in parks and in the woods and on the river and in houses with bugs crawling over me and mice crawling over and all that good stuff. Yeah, I don't have to live that way today. I get to spend all my free time either doing things in recovery or with my family, and that's about all I do anymore. I sit home and hang out with my wife and my kids and my dogs, or I go do something that's recovery.
How
I'm
many
grateful.
kids do you have?
I've got 5 step kids, and then we've got 4 girls and a boy, and I've got 5 grandbabies, which are 4 boys, girl, and then we have the 6th and 7th grandbaby.
Awesome, man. Awesome.
So, you from Oklahoma City? You said you went to treatment in Tulsa, right?
From Shawnee. I moved
Shawnee,
up to
okay.
Moore. I think I was 8, 9 years old when we moved up to Moore, and I stayed up there until I think I was 16, 17, and then came back down here to Shawnee.
How old are you now, Brian?
39. Just turned 39 on the 31st of July.
Okay.
Happy birthday.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Leo. I'll be 39 August 19th. I'm a Leo also.
I've met you before too, Nemo.
Where at?
We were at a men's conference in Tahlequah. Not this year, but last year.
In Tahlequah?
Yeah. Down at the church camp on the river.
Huh. Man, I'll be going. I'll be everywhere. So that's what's up. 2.5 years, like you said, man. My first year, getting sober. My first year was rough too. Like, especially the first 6 months. But I don't know, man. I tell everyone that first year is real hard.
Yeah, that first year's brutal.
It is. It's. But if you push through, it's beautiful at the end of the day. That's good.
And we hear a lot about how rough relationships are in recovery, and I was lucky enough that my wife wanted recovery too. So we've been able to embark on this journey together. I give her a hard time because I've got 19 more days than she does. Because while I was in treatment, she wanted to get drunk one last time, so I couldn't screw it up, so she could enjoy it.
Is she laughing in the background? Is that
yeah,
her
she is. Yeah, she is.
Hey, I'm gonna shout out Caleb and Heather. Congratulations on 5 years sober as of July 4th. What up, Banjo? And Ken Bass or Ken Bass? Man, I'm hoping I'm not saying that wrong.
You're probably butchering it. He said the sound sucks, but your message is loud and clear. That's the main thing, you know. So.
It's yeah. The audio is a little off, but that's all right. I bet you've never used StreamYard. Is this your first time, Brian?
Yes, it's my first time.
Yeah. So trust me, it took me a couple of tries to get used to it and get it down. Oh, we got someone. We also got someone from Algeria. Wow.
Yeah, all right. I put that up on the screen. They said there was. It said, "Yo, Nemo." Let me see. We just post it back up there. Yeah. So all right, let's just do the walk here. Bam. Come on. There we go. Yo, Bradley. Why are a good man? I think it means you. I love you, man. I assume.
Awesome.
And then from Algeria, yeah. So again, international attention. That's good, man. It's good. So tell me. Oh, go ahead, Chris. Yeah.
I was gonna say I also saw that we also had Brandon Mercury from Maine.
Yeah, I already posted that up there.
Yeah, shout out Brandon.
He said he looks younger than us. So, well, I mean, you know, okay. Oh, yeah. I mean, I think I look pretty good for my age. But Chris is frozen.
Oh.
There we go.
There we go.
Who keeps putting that up there? Chris.
I tried to put it down. Okay.
Always Chris, man. It's always Chris.
I'll take care of the comments, Chris. You take care of the banners.
I know. I was trying to take it down.
So Brian, so you said you're sorry, I seen Brandon on the comments.
Good.
Your drug of choice was meth, right?
I kind of went back and forth from alcohol, marijuana, and meth. You know what I mean? But yes, meth was always the thing that the end all of end all that's always leads to, and it's always what's most destructive.
Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to read the comments at the same time. Getting sober was the best thing I could have done. I will be 2 years sober October 9th. Awesome, Kevin. Shout out to Kevin Wiley, 2 years sober October 9th. Man, I love when y'all comment in here shouting out your sobriety dates. It just lets everyone know, you know, that person that's still struggling, that they can do it too. And even the person from Algeria, it's like your story is getting heard in Algeria right now. That's dope.
Yeah, it's good stuff, man. It really is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why we're doing this, man. You know, trying to destigmatize the whole thing. You know, I was talking to somebody about this earlier, man, and this is the biggest pandemic of all of mankind, in my opinion, is drug addiction and alcoholism and stuff like that. So,
Agreed.
say Branjo Cliff said, "I never done any hard drugs or anything, but I'm 3 weeks free of caffeine and working on those cigarettes." Okay.
Golly, how you quit caffeine, bro? I ain't ready to do that.
Somebody else said 1 month sober from alcohol and cigarettes and marijuana. Hell yeah.
Congratulations, Brandon. That's what's up.
Man.
Cigarettes, man. Cigarettes were hard for me. So I quit smoking in 2019. I quit smoking cigarettes in 2019. So about 18 months sober is when I quit smoking cigarettes.
I still vape, so yeah. I quit smoking cigarettes about 3 months in. So cigarettes was hardest for me, according to Brandon Mercury. And he looks younger than us, so
Yeah.
Young looking guy.
Cigarettes weren't so hard, but getting rid of this thing is going to take, I don't know, it'll ever go away.
The vapes are really popular. It's like everybody vapes. It's crazy.
I just got tired of the way the cigarettes smelled and tasted. They just got gross.
it was
Yeah.
the smell that got me, man. I can't hardly sit around people that smoke cigarettes, man. It's just too much. I like
Let me ask you this. So my wife quit vaping a couple months ago, and would you say you hit the vape more than you do if you would smoke cigarettes?
Absolutely.
So I'm wondering, do you think it's better?
No,
I do.
probably not.
I think it is. I don't have the cough, the lung butter, and shit like that I did with cigarettes, man.
Yeah.
I mean, but I smoke like 2 fucking packs a day too, and I smoke Lucky Strikes, so I was a hardcore smoker.
Lucky Strikes, like it's 1960 or something. Who smokes Lucky Strikes?
I was moving furniture when I decided to quit smoking cigarettes, and it was a lot easier to run up and down stairs smoking the vape than it was cigarettes. But the way it sticks to windows in the car can't be any good for you.
So you work in recovery, Brian, and is that who is that you?
Yeah.
Sorry, my voice is echoing. I'm sure it's Chris. He always does this to me. No.
Mm-mm.
So you work in recovery, 5 stepkids. How many grandchildren?
5 with 6 and 7 on the way.
Oh wow. How many kids you got living in the house with you?
Just 1.
Okay, that's a little easier, huh?
Yeah.
That's what's up, man. No, but I was gonna ask, what do you do other than work in recovery, and what do you do for fun?
Fish.
Okay.
What kind of fishing, man? You do the noodling where you dive up under there and make the big
No.
holes out, or-
I'm
Okay.
not sticking my hand in the mouth. Fish, not happening. I just bass fish.
Okay.
I know we got some country boys in the comments. I know we do.
Yeah, let's come on. What's the biggest fish you ever caught? Bass fishing. Hell yeah.
Probably about.
Bass fishing is when you smoke cocaine and go fishing.
Yeah. Said he knew a fish. Hell yeah. Yeah, I would too. I would do. Yeah, I'm not gonna. Yeah. What's that one chick on Instagram, Hannah Barron? I'd go noodling with her, man.
No.
Oh yeah. Yeah. She's hot.
No, I still ain't sticking my hand in no fish's mouth.
Yeah.
Brian, you have a pond on your property, right?
Yeah, I've got 4.
So how often do you go fishing out there?
I wish I could go every day, but probably once a month.
It's better than never.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well.
I used to go fishing with my grandpa a lot, but now as he's getting older and can't really see, he had to sell his boat, so we don't go out there as much now.
Does the wife work in recovery too?
No.
Okay.
Not at all.
She wanted to. She was, when we first got together, she was going to school for it, and then I got real sick. Had hepatitis and it about killed me. And
Had what?
she got
You broke
busy
up.
trying to work to support us, and the school set to the side. And I've tried to talk her back into going back to school, and she said now after she sees how full it is, she's not so sure she wants to do that. She's actually thinking about getting her CDL and driving a truck.
That's a good living right there, man. So I hear.
So how much time did you do in prison altogether?
If you count the 3 trips and then almost 5 years in county, we're looking at 14 and a half calendars.
Damn.
Oh man.
That's a long
Do
time,
you
man.
feel like you're institutionalized sometimes?
I used to.
When did you get out the last time?
The last time was in 2018 or 2000. I think it was 2019. 2018, 19.
Okay. Yeah. I have to, what yard was you on?
Was it Lawton, Cushion, and Hinton?
Okay. So you just stayed behind the fence, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, the very first trip I went to Rid and got kicked out of Rid and went to Howard McLeod. But other than that, yeah, it's been behind the fence. I used to let that define who I was. I used to think it was a big deal. I used to like a badge of honor. Anymore today, it's another part of life. It's not, the longer I stay out, the farther I get away from it. And I don't try to forget, but it's not who I am. I don't let that define me anymore. I have a life to live today that doesn't involve
Hold on,
that.
we're interrupting Chris right now. Go ahead, Chris.
I was having some shit going. I don't know. Oh fuck!
Just let me know when to hit that mute button.
I was about to flip out. Fucking
Hey,
people,
hey, bro, you never use that green screen for what it's.
Yeah, I know. I gotta fucking try to use it for things that fucking.
You might as well
Oh,
put a
shit.
shower curtain up there, dog.
Well, no, I was gonna put my mic to see the. I'll put this up there.
Yeah, I got one of those now, thanks to Chris.
Hey, did I leave my paddle?
You what? Paddle?
Yeah.
I don't know, dude.
It's under his bed.
I mean, I would never tell you, but yeah.
It's under.
We got a guy on here that just commented about mental hospitals, and I forgot, I left that part out. From 2011 to 2019, if I count the trips to jail, prison, rehab, and the mental hospital, it was I was institutionalized 96 times.
Damn.
That's
So
an
what would
important
be-
part I should have put in there that I left.
I
So
have
what
a
would
feeling you left a lot out.
Yeah,
I mean, it was like 5 minutes in. It was 2022.
Anymore when I talk about it, I try not to
You try to
dwell
get
on the past. I try to get to this. I try to get to the solution and stick to that.
Uh-oh.
But then I forget that I'm not standing up and nobody can see the tattoos and all that stuff. My dad gives me a hard time and tells me I qualify when I walk into a room because of the way I look, and then I don't have to stay in the past very long and forget that I'm sitting on a screen where people can't see me.
Guys, I'm going to have to cut this short.
Okay. Why?
I just had an emergency.
Okay.
Sorry, bro. Hey, Brian, it was nice meeting you, man. Thanks.
Nice to meet you too, man. I'll see you around.
All right, brother.
All right.
Get this. Leave studio.
All right, and he's gone. Now we can talk about him. That's fine. We're still live on his thing too, so it don't really matter. But we got somebody praying. Oh yeah. So if you want, man, we can go and let's go and discuss the if you think addiction is a disease. So I know you work in a rehab facility. Tell me like what's your take on that with working in a rehab facility? Because my opinion is it's 100% a disease.
I do believe it's a disease of the mind. But at the end of the day, if we take the addiction out of it, if we take the drugs out of it, we still have issues. You know what I mean? We still have
100%.
our character defects. We still have our resentments. We still have the things that we feel guilt for. We still have to sit with us. And I believe that the drugs and alcohol were a solution to that, to the disease that I have in my mind. So yes, I do believe that it is a disease.
So, Chris, you got any questions? We keeping you? You're muted, dog.
Can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Yeah, I was dealing with a little issue because the kids wanted to come down here and fucking turn on the fucking washer and dryer and shit like that. But what name all the things that keep you sober now? Like what are the things you wake up every day and look forward to?
I look forward to life in general. I look forward to spending time with my wife and kids and grandkids. And one of the greatest feelings in the world is to be able to get a call from my mom and know that she's not worried about me. And if she needs something, then I'm just a phone call away, and I will go do whatever her or my grandparents need done, or whatever my wife's family needs done. That matter. My wife was having a conversation with her dad the other day, and I'm not always the easiest person to get along with, and I don't always make the best impressions on people. He made a comment the other day to the effect of, if he says he's going to do something, if he tells us he's going to show up somewhere, he shows up and he does exactly what he says he's going to do. And today, I can get no higher praise than that. You know what I mean? To be accountable and be honest and be dependable. Because for a lot of years, I was none of those things.
It's good. It's really good. So, do you have did you prepare the question for the next guest? Did you figure something
Yes,
out? Ask?
I want to ask if they have purpose in life.
What is it?
If they have found a purpose in life after recovery or in recovery. And I ask that because I see so many of us get sober, but they still bounce around and don't really have anything that grounds them to push forward. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know that I had a purpose until year mark, and I thought everything was going to fall apart. and I heard that voice to do more. When I started doing more, I found that purpose in life. I don't have to go out and make $1 million and have everything in the world. All I have to do is be of service and try to help somebody else.
Sounds good.
And it's funny because that sounds very unselfish, but the reality of it is, there's things I have to get up and do every morning and be selfish, be really, really selfish in order to be able to go and do those things. If I don't get up and I don't talk to God, and I don't reach out to the people I reach out to every day, then I become stuck in my own life and can't be of service because I can't get out of my own way.
It's perfect. It's good. Like that's a really good question. Like if I look at it and I look at hold on 1 second. If I have a purpose in life in recovery, man, I look at it as like my whole life is based around recovery. This podcast, my job, my closest friends that I have now, I've come really close to people all because of recovery. I didn't think I could live a normal life like most people. And it's come a long, long way. And it really has. And I know I still got a lot of work to work on and a lot of things to take care of. But, with God behind me and me sticking to what I know and the things that I'm doing, I can continue to do that, and I can continue to try to help people as much as I can. Brooks, do you want to answer that question?
Which part?
One second. If you have a purpose in life and recovery?
Man, I think I do. As I use music to kind of plug me back into the stream of life, and it's something we all kind of have to identify ourselves. But I'd say so. It took me a while because for the first couple of years, I just went through the motions just to not be sick. And once, I got to a place with that, then I realized I don't really have an identity. I don't know who the fuck I am. Once I was able to identify that, though, I kind of was able to figure out that, hey, I need to find a greater purpose than just staying sober, because it's the whole reason God kept me around. Otherwise He let me die a long time ago with them overdoses and shit,
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's awesome. I wrote that down and I put that in the notes for the next guest, so we can have it ready for the next guest. And man, Brian, I'm really glad you came on, and I really appreciate hearing your story. I'm glad that you got to share it with a few people. Some people think that either we reach too many people, or some people don't want to share the story with everyone. But I really appreciate you coming on and sharing your story with us.
Absolutely.
Brooks, you got anything?
I don't think so, brother. I think that's good, man. We really appreciate you coming on, dude. So we'd like to do a follow-up with everybody. We need to get your sound figured out a little bit better. That was a little bit of a nightmare, but we'll get it, man. It's cool, man. We're really grateful for you coming on, man, and I enjoy seeing you around, dude. It's really cool. So yeah, thank you so much for coming on. It's been a pleasure.
Absolutely. I appreciate you guys for having me.
All right, well, this has been Around the Block. Let me go ahead and just play that out cue music, and we'll get the hell out of here. Thanks, guys.
It's swing day, call this number back. Got $25 for this walk around sit down chair.
Production. Been around the block.
Oh, it's bad.
Been around the block.
He's always got to be up in my business.
That's all right.